Well, hello and welcome to another movie review from MBE. Today we are going to be talking about 1994's Farley Brothers, Dumb and Dumber, John.
Yes.
Now, this kicked off a sequel and a prequel, if you remember Dumb and Dumberer, when Harry met Lloyd. I think it came out in the early 2000s. It was a terrible film. Did not star Jim Carrey or Jeff Daniels, but we did get a sequel, but we're not here to talk about that either.
No, we're here to talk about the actual Dumb and Dumber, Stephen, the one which started it all, one of the best comedies of all time, and indeed the 1990s. It's just, I have so much emotions when I watch this movie, Stephen. Nostalgia, happiness, everything in between. Crying with laughter.
Yeah, still.
Still. Stephen, I watched it last night and it still gets me every time. The lines, just the physical acting performance from these two goofballs, everything about it, the little side characters. It's just absolute perfection, Stephen, really. The intro is absolute perfection as well.
Yeah.
What an introduction the Farrellys give us, Stephen. Two loonballs, I'll say, that are Harry and Lloyd. Of course, we see Lloyd at the very start.
Great music as well.
Fantastic.
Indian.
Yes, absolutely. Actually,
Boom Shakalak, yeah.
Boom Shakalak, what an intro. Obviously, he jumps into the back seat of the limo and he's trying to chat up this Austrian girl. And then I think he says, oh, lovely accent or something. She says, yeah, I'm from Austria. I think he says French or something ridiculous like that. Canadian. And then he's saying another shrimp on the barbie. That's him, kicked to the curb. He then has to go and rush to get Mary, pick her up and take her to the airport. And just a little cross of paths. You see Harry as well coming in. He's ready to go into the dog car, that infamous car. He's running late. He's feeding these menagerie of different mutts and menagerie of different dogs, very different sizes of hot dogs. A little Shih Tzu coming out and trying to get the big foot long hot dog. He's like, not a chance. Get
in your
back
dreams,
in. Stephen, what was your thoughts on this introduction? It's just fantastic. It sets these two guys up perfectly. They are living in a different planet. They are not even remotely aware of themselves.
I always like the way that Lloyd portrays himself as if he is the actual client inside the limo,
just going to do it.
He's sitting at the back, putting the window down as if there's an actual driver driving him about. And then we see him, obviously, once he's bombed out by the Australian girl, climbing over the seats to get back into the driving position.
Pump the horn.
It's his hair and everything. And I think Jim Carrey actually took his cap out, didn't he? So he could see his actual chip, which is real.
It's perfect.
And then you think of Jeff Daniels' hair as well, so frizzy, isn't it? And thin. I mean, this I always remember. Well, we saw that in the sequel, but there's something about 1994, John, that I always remember well for Jim Carrey, because he had Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls out that year. He also had The Mask out that year, and it was such a big year for this guy. This was I would say, I'm not going to say breakthrough, because I had seen him in I think it was.
It was Dirty Harry.
The Deadpool,
The Deadpool,
and I'd seen him in Earth Girls Are Easy as well, but very minor roles. This was the year for him, though. Jeff Daniels also appeared in Speed this year, as I recall. He played another Harry, as I recall. But I mean, putting these two guys together, I don't know. I just felt, how's this going to work? Because Jeff Daniels, at this point, I'd only seen him. I hadn't seen him in this kind of wacky role before. Jim Carrey, but you're right, John. It's a film that I go back to every now and again. It's another one of those ones you get on ITV, which is one of the terrestrial TV channels over here in the UK. It's on a lot, but it's a TV version. They cut a lot out. You'll notice that when you watch the full version on DVD or Blu-ray or digital downloads. Yeah, so there's a lot missing, but it's one of those ones you always go back to, and if it's on the TV and it's halfway through, you just watch it to the end anyway,
Yeah, Stephen, look, another thing about this movie that I absolutely love is just the pacing. There is no stopping for breath at any point. It is absolutely frenetic from start to finish. They just lay the plot beautifully. This hostage situation, it's not revealed entirely. She's leaving the briefcase. He goes and fetches it thinking he's doing a good turn. It's just a little comment he makes. Also, the guy at the airport says, look, this gate's shut, you can't go in there.
Don't worry, I'm a limo driver.
I'm a limo driver. But it's when he comes back to the flat later on, the apartment, whatever you want to call it, and says to Harry, Yeah, I mean, I jumped off the airport gate again. As if he's did it numerous times. And you see just the lack of self-awareness. This guy thinks he had a chance with her.
Both of them lost their job that day, didn't they? Yeah.
But it's just the way they lay down the plot. In the midst of all of this freneticism, these two characters being introduced, it's just beautiful, it's organic.
Yeah.
These two guys, I think it's Joe and Shay, not guys, Joe and Shay, the two bad sort of mobster figures who are pursuing Mary and trying to pick up the briefcase.
I actually didn't know the girl's name. I didn't know that was her name.
I thought it was Sherry. I actually had to search it up. Apparently it's Shay.
Okay.
So they lay that down beautifully in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie. We get the plot, we get these two idiots, and then we get these sort of minor bad, that makes no sense. Minor bad guys who are going to be pursuing them throughout. We get Mary as well, who is the carrot dangling in front of Lloyd. It brings us to Aspen in this movie. Just magnificently set up. It's just perfect. It's something about the Farleys. They know what they're doing. And obviously, as you did say, they go back to the apartment, and we get further enveloped in these two crazy individuals' lives.
They've got a worm farm, haven't they?
Yeah, a worm farm. Yeah, he explains
that's
that.
That's a long-term plan.
Yeah, that's a long-term plan. But obviously, Stephen, they come back. They do find out they've both lost their jobs, and he says, "You're such a loser." And he takes it. He compartmentalises it, Harry. But it happens again and again, and we'll get on to it later on.
Yeah.
It finally cracks under just the little snipes from Lloyd.
Yeah.
And then obviously they're back and forth talking about what happened. Yeah, I mean, she actually spoke to me. He's like, "What? You're kidding me on? A woman spoke to you? Jesus Christ." They formulate a plan. They're going to go and buy the essentials. It's Lloyd that goes out. Only the essentials. Then we get that amazing sequence with the old woman.
Yeah.
With the Peaky Blinders theme, which I now think of Peaky Blinders for, playing in the background. I think it's Nick Cave, I'm sure it is.
Right, yeah.
Red right hand. Yeah. Just perfectly fitting in. He's got the big cowboy hat. It's little wind things.
Yeah.
Not even remotely the essentials.
He's
going to buy a newspaper.
I know we're going to talk about it, John, but it is a great soundtrack. Yeah. I remember having it, back in 1995 or something like that on cassette. So, yeah.
Yeah, Stephen, I mind the cassettes as well. I'm very much a 90s child. I recall, was it Run DMC something? I can't even
Jason
remember.
Evans, yeah versus Jeff.
I had that, and I think I had Fatboy Slim right here, right now, on my little cassette. So I remember those days well. That's what I love about this movie as well, Stephen, which we will get into at some point. And the nostalgia, as I did say, it brings up emotions. Just getting back to that decade, it feels at home. That's where I grew up. I love that decade. I wish we were here in there just now, because it's better than what we have to do.
Internet.
But with the internet, 90s with the internet. Yeah, but it was just something about life back then was better. Movies were better as well. But Stephen, also Joe, the gas man, as I've says, and his sidekick turn up to the apartment. Harry and Lloyd bail. Yeah. Don't know where they go to. I don't think it's ever really explained. Perhaps it is. I did watch it last night and I missed it.
No, I don't remember.
He rips the parapet. I think that's what you call its head off. We'll send him a message. Yeah. They don't get it. He comes back. I think Lloyd goes for the essential shopping, comes back. Yeah. Tells him, "I've been robbed with a little old lady." Incidentally, that line. Yeah. Where is it? Hey, I guess you're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. Don't you go dying on me now. Yeah. He deserved to be robbed. But it's when he comes back and just relays that they've been stolen. He goes into stolen from. Harry's in depression. He says, "My God, what's wrong with you, Harry? My bird's dead." "Oh, what happened?" "Oh, its head fell off." "Oh man, yeah, she was old." Yeah, because old birds' heads fall off.
Lloyd has a moment, doesn't he, about we've got no money, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off.
And then we get a little moment of drama, Stephen. In this movie, the music changes. Jim Carrey's putting on a drama-heavy performance.
Yeah, I mean, he's fed up being alone, and
it's because Harry rumbled him, essentially.
We're doing Adam Sandler the other day, and we were talking about, how he would throw little drama bits in, and you'd see how good he was at doing it, the emotional stuff and all that within a comedy film. This is just a little sort of snippet of that, really, but he does it so well, it's so heartfelt, I always laugh at the cry, because it's coming from the chest, isn't it? The cry, it's just bawling,
again, it's
you better not be messing with me.
Yeah, it's like The Mask again. I mean, it's just that sort of physical performance that he puts in. It just keeps going, No, from those films you mentioned from the 1 year, that this is the most restrained of the three. Obviously Ace Ventura, very bombastic. The Mask, incredibly on steroids, Carrey. this is the most restrained performance. I think that speaks volumes for 94.
That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
Stephen also, that he rumples him. He knows that he's just wanting to go and see this Mary again, Swanson.
So
he puts the tears on, as you did say. But again, that sets it up beautifully. It's all, again, the development of these two guys beautifully. The humour's in there, there's drama in there, and it sets the pot rolling. They're off to go to Aspen. He's very happy again. He's like, you mean it?
He's jogging inside the actual van.
Yeah.
He's already annoying Harry.
Stephen, again, that's another thing though that I missed about this movie. The actual beautiful landscape shots. There's little wide shots. We see it from the actual cabin of the van.
Yeah, there's something beautiful. If there's, out with the comedy, if there's something the Farley brothers do really well, it's a good sort of road trip film. Yeah. They've done it time and time again, and they know how to capture the sort of landscape of the country as well, because it is a beautiful country, John. And you see that in the film.
Very distinctly different country as well, Stephen, as you go through different states.
Yeah.
We were speaking about that the other day. There's so much in the US.
Yeah.
The US people, Americans, Jesus Christ, John, get a hard time of it. For not leaving the country, not owning passports, but there's so many different terrain and places to go to in that country. You never need to leave, and you see that in this movie. They go from urban to desert to country, the goddamn Rocky Mountains. Stephen, another thing you've got in this movie though is the laugh a minute nature. I've said in my third point in this guideline, absolutely relentless from start to finish. Nearly every minute or so there's a laugh, and it is genuinely hilarious. There's great dialogue, and it's usually set around Lloyd and Harry, just Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey. They're absolutely fantastic.
Well, I think early on in their sort of road trip, the scenes are very quick. They're stopping off at a gas station. Lloyd's picking up some bits and bobs.
That's afterwards.
Harry's questioning where he's getting the extra money from, and he said that he sold a few bits and bobs, to make up some extra cash so he could get a lot of nonsense. He rhymes off some baseball cards, some
baseball
things like
bat,
that.
I think as well.
And Petey, he's actually sold off the dead bird to the blind kid. I can't remember what the fella's name was. Can't remember. It doesn't matter.
You sold my dead bird to a blind kid.
Yeah. And
I sorted it.
He's like, don't worry about it. It's just. It's the facial expressions in this film as well, John. You can't forget. Jim Carrey is a master at this, pulling these faces. And he does it time and time again. We'll talk about it later on, because that is one of the funny scenes about the gloves. But he does that kind of face again.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's just both of them in this film, and those early scenes, as I said, they're very short and sweet. But you're right; it's like every minute there's a very funny line or a very funny scenario happening.
Absolutely, Stephen, and obviously the young kid with the bird is right up there. Polly want a cracker. Selling a dead bird to a blind kid. You couldn't do that now in a movie, I'll tell you that. But Stephen, obviously they do. The trip to Aspen begins, as you did say, stopping very frequently. They stop off at the diner.
Yeah.
And obviously Lloyd's feeling fantastic. It feels good to mingle with these laid-back country folk, doesn't it?
Did you notice the line, that about the monkeys? He says they were a heavy influence on the Beatles' early career.
Yes. And obviously Harry's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They couldn't even play instruments. What he's talking about, man. But again, it's little bits slipped in like that. It shows you the stupidity of these guys. They're just not self-aware at all. Obviously, this laid-back, happy, carefree nature is not to last very long, because I think he's...
Spills the salt.
Yeah, he spills the salt. That's bad luck. You have to throw it over your shoulder. Harry just lobs the full salt thing over. Hits one of these hillbilly folk at the back of the diner.
Trucker,
Seabass is his name. He comes up, and he obviously... Lloyd's selling them out, he's pointing to him.
Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah.
And then he's always like, were you planning on eating that? Yeah, maybe. I was thinking about it.
He can't even decide because he's that nervous, isn't he?
Yeah, he's terrified.
Yeah.
And again, this is not worldly people, Stephen. They have not been out of that apartment very often, other than to work. Clearly, they are not at ease in sort of situations like this. I think they make a joke with the diner, the waitress as well. They make some joke
John, there's something in that line. I think it's Flo her name is or something. And there's
a TV show or something.
Yeah, it's definitely one that goes over anyone in the UK's heads that hasn't obviously researched this, because it's something that I don't think we would have got. But it's the way they laugh as well. Jeff Daniels has got such a contagious laugh. It's so high pitched, isn't it?
Yeah, and you see that throughout this movie. Stephen, some great moments with that guy. Also, this big towering trucker grogs on his burger though, and they agree to call quits after that. And then it cuts, and Lloyd's like, he's
totally
tore into his
out, man.
Yeah, he's ate all the chips. He's happy. You totally went out, man. And he's like, looking at him. Again, this is another little dig at Harry that happens throughout the movie. I says in my quotes or my notes, I would kill him. If I was Harry, I would absolutely kill this guy.
Lloyd has a brainwave. He has a plan, you know.
And it's a fantastic plan.
Well, this is the brilliant writing of the Farleys once again, John, because we'll obviously get into that, but it's the knock-on effect and the hilarity that after these events knocks onto the next event, which would be obviously them, you know, stitching up Seabass, then Lloyd needing the toilet. We meet the copper. Yeah. You know, and it just
then the hot tub sequence.
Obviously before that, you know, we'll talk about this. You know, obviously they basically got Seabass to pay for their bill. You know, they trick the waitress
Seabass said that.
Yeah, you know, and you know Harry's lifting everything off the counter that he can.
Yes.
And then they're doing a runner, you know.
And then he also says, "What a great idea! Where did you think that up from?" "Oh yeah, I watched it in a movie." "Oh, and what happened to the people getting away?" Yeah. "Did they get away?" No. The pursuer caught up with them half a mile down the road and slit their throats. And again, that just puts Harry on a downer.
Yeah.
He goes from being euphoric to on an absolute downer.
Foot in the metal.
Puts the foot down, and then obviously Lloyd wants to do the toilet after that. And I says it's almost childlike. He's like a little boy. He can't contain the urge to pee.
No.
He's absolutely, "Come on, Harry, I'm desperate, let's go." Also, he starts pissing in the actual bottles, and again, Stephen,
it's the sounds, isn't
there's
it?
little moments in it, just little sound effects that it's almost like a Bruce Lee movie.
You can hear
from
the pee getting to the top of the bottle, John. Yeah. It's that sound, you know, and then he's got to switch that over, and he's spilling some over Harry's arm, isn't he? It's over his sleeve, you know.
He's got about 4 bottles.
He's driving.
Yeah, he's driving, and then the copper comes up, waves him over for speeding, and I think there's little pull over or something like that, or the copper makes something, he's like, "No, I don't want to."
I think it's Killer Boots, man.
Killer Boots,
you know?
yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few lines from the police officer as well, John, you know, that always makes me laugh. The pumpkin pie haircutted little freak. It's a perfect description for Lloyd Christmas's hairstyle. There was another one, what he's doing, fellas, he's knocking back some of Grandma's old cough syrup or something like that as well.
Grandma's old cough mixture.
Yeah.
You keep your mouth shut, son, if you know what's good for you. And then also he drinks it, Stephen. And
They do warn him.
They do, and again, it's just full of it. Yeah. There seems to be a lot of physical comedic acting in this movie, in the copper. He kind of and all stuff like that. Yeah. And then he's also spewing it. It's just a great moment.
Tic Tac, sir.
Again, there's little lines flung in. It's beautiful. Comedic timing's perfect. And it's just a beautiful scene. I absolutely loved that. I mind the first time watching it, I was in tears, laughing. I'm 31 now, and I'm still in tears, laughing at this movie. That tells you that you have an absolute modern day classic when it transcends 20, 30 years and it doesn't lose its potency, the comedy in this movie. Stephen, after that, I'm trying to remember what happens after that. Obviously, we may have a daydream sequence.
They're driving quite a bit, John, so there's obviously some nighttime driving, you know, and it's Lloyd's turn to drive, you know, and he's, I think he's fallen asleep or something, I can't remember, but he's definitely
daydreaming. He's
dreaming anyway when he's driving, and he shouldn't be. But the whole sequence, John, is, you know, it's all... I don't think it's the Beach Boys, but it's very similar to their type of music. I can't remember, you know, maybe somebody could comment below and let us know what that song is. I had the soundtrack and I can't even remember, but
it's perfect though.
It's a song that sticks in your head as well, just with the sequences that happen. Yeah, you know, and you get you know, it's like he's dreaming, you know, if him and Mary were a couple and who their friends would be, and they'd have them over for dinner parties and stuff like that,
and of
sitting
course,
around the fire, you know.
Prior to this, we have flipped over to Aspen at one point, and it's revealed that there is a hostage situation. I think it's her husband's been taken, and they're encouraging Mary to go out and socialise, keep the charity ball going. So you see who's actually socialising with her, and then when it goes to the dreaming sequence, it's not even remotely mixing. This guy's a fantasist, but it's amazing, Stephen. He's obviously giving out jokes left, right and centre, throwing popcorn in his face, and that just reeks of Jim Carrey off set. I can imagine that's what it's like. He's got the actual crew and antics and laughing, and the antics would be incredible. Obviously, we have the restaurant sequence as well, where he's punching guys' bollocks like they're punching bags, and he's... left, right and centre, throwing bodies. The little Chinese master comes out, and he's giving it a wah, and then ripping the heart out of the body. It's just
sticking it in a doggy bag.
Comes up, oh, and the guy. It's just an amazing sequence. It really is fantastical. but it just works again because you're seeing into this guy's psyche, and it's a strange psyche.
Yeah, this leads. I think she takes her top off, and the headlights are flashing, and it's really the car's headlights flashing, and that's when he wakes up.
Yeah, and Harry says, "You want me to drive?"
And basically, that's when they sort of park the car for the night. When they get themselves into that motel with the hot tub.
It's another little subtle line in there.
Well, it is, John. And the nice thing about this is Greta Felchen, I think her name is.
Yeah.
It's a nice setup for the sequel film, starring Kathleen Turner.
Yeah.
I think it is Kathleen Turner, who plays that character, and obviously there is that history with both Harry and Lloyd. But it's a great scene, how you got those two big guys over 6 foot into that little love heart tub.
It's like that looking at the actual cover. I mean, Jim Carrey must be about 6'2", and Jeff Daniels is even bigger. It's crazy. You're right. How did they get those two guys in? Makes funny. No sense. Yeah. But it's hilarious. And again, they're dropping little story snippets in there, and it's revealed at the end.
Yeah. What was it? She said that I never listened to her. She's blah blah blah.
I can't recall
what she said.
But it reveals it. Yeah, but I think she was cheating on me with another guy.
It's Jim Carrey's face at that point. He's kind of looking as a
little side eye. And then also, Stephen, we see that there is some double-crossing antagonistic stuff happening in the background in Aspen. I think it's the character, again, his name eludes me.
Nicholas.
Yeah. He is sort of kidding on, he's a friend to Mary and the Swansons, but he's really involved with the Joe guy and Shay, manipulating things and trying to get these two guys killed off, essentially, and get this briefcase so he can get the money and she can get her husband back. So it's, again, you've got serious things going on in the background, and then you have the comedy, and it's all meshing in. And the other thing I loved about this movie was the fact that the Shay and Joe and obviously Nicholas, they think that these two guys are professionals throughout the whole movie. It's like, how the hell did this guy know I had gas? I mean, I've got gas. These guys are pros. Things like that. The bird at the ball and whatnot. That's another thing. The way they blend this and just make these guys look as though they, from the villain's perspective, that they know what they're doing, when we know really they're just a pair of absolute idiot shitheads. But good shitheads. They're loved. And then also, Stephen, we do have Joe hitching a ride, but prior to that, and maybe after, I can't recall if it's in the motel, but the phone call conversation in the telephone booth, another thing that's long gone now.
Get off the phone.
Get off the phone.
Can't hear you,
he turned his back on me. I'm getting angry. I almost like it. And he's chapping, and then obviously punches him. It's a great scene, and that little guy plays the part perfectly again. Everyone's cast perfectly in this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously he hitches a ride with him, and I think he says, we normally don't say yes to hitchhikers, but
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Feeling. Hop out of the saddle partner or something along those lines.
Sits in between those two as well.
Yeah, and then also they're singing him back, and what was
the Mockingbird song?
No, the one where you can't double.
Oh, you can't. Jinx. You can't double jinx. You can't double stamp. Like, double stamp. Yeah. I mean, it's kid stuff. They really do have a kid mentality in this film, and that irritating noise as well. I can't do it.
Want to hear the most annoying noise in the world?
Yeah, it's something like Ricky Gervais would come away with. Just to annoy Carol Pilkington. But I mean, you can tell this guy's blood pressure. Is sky high to begin with. He's got these pills as well, hasn't he? Which
also,
which plays into obviously a very funny scene when they stop at a diner, and they put, I think it's these chilies. They try them first, don't they? Yeah. And there's this hilarious scene where they're using the mustard and the sauce to try and cool their mouths down. But they put some of those chilies into this guy's burger, not knowing he's got ulcers,
he's away talking ulcers to Nicholas, saying, you don't have to worry, I'm going to slip some rat poison into the food. I think he asked, so how do you know Mary? How do you know Mary? We don't. We're just they dropped her off at the airport. And he's laughing. He
finds that hilarious,
And again, it's just he discovers the true situation going on, and then he dies. It's too late. And it's just, you're right, Stephen, when they slip the actual chilies in his burger and they're pointing and laughing, and then they obviously realise things are not right, and they're trying to help him out. He's sweating buckets.
Yeah, he looks so
But there's a moment, Stephen, in the midst of this that killed me watching it. I actually forgot about it. Don't worry, I know CPR.
Oh, he's trying to give him mouth to mouth,
and then he kicks him into the blinds, and he gets caught in the blinds coming back. It's just
that couldn't have been planned.
How many takes?
That must have happened accidentally on set. The way that happened, he's wrapped around those blinds. You're right. He's He's absolutely wrestling with the blinds at one point, you know.
And you're right, he's trying to give him CPR. To make this work, you really should get more involved or something along those lines. Obviously, they slip him the rat poison and he dies.
Yeah, foaming, yeah.
Yeah, foaming. It's almost like another thing I don't want to speak about that I always think of, and I think of that, a certain well-known comedic actor of the 90s in his final moments. Horrendous. But Stephen, well, not Lord of the Tone, but Stephen, obviously he dies. They bail quickly. This brings the police onto the scene. They are charting where they are going.
Yeah.
Despite them crossing over back and forth over the United States, we have this sort of undercover FBI agent or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know that at the time, but obviously, Stephen, at this moment they bail. And I think this is when Lloyd takes them 1/6 of the way across the UK in the wrong diet of the UK,
just
the United
before that,
States.
though, there is a scene in the gas station, isn't there? That Harry and the FBI agent have that moment, you know, about the skis. Are they yours? Both of them, you know, and then he's setting himself on fire. He's accident prone. She doesn't obviously go for guys that are accident prone, but he knocks off the wing mirror, falls, and he's setting himself on fire.
Again, the timing.
It's amazing.
It's just perfect. The timing is perfect, and that scene is amazing.
But this is at night, and you're right. This is obviously leads to, you know, Lloyd not paying
but
attention.
Steve, you can't forget the sea bass comes back in this as well. Lloyd's in the actual restroom.
That's right. He doesn't want to
He
talk
sets
about
his legs on fire, and then he sees the message. I think for much love, come here on March 25th at 2:30 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
He checks his watch.
Yep.
He starts panicking. He locks the door. Door gets knocked in, and it's Seabass again. It's a little squeal that Jim Carrey gives. It's like, and then obviously Lloyd or Harry comes in and bangs into him and puts his foot.
Because he's on fire at the time. That's right.
It's
so
just again, just the sequence all comes together beautifully. You've got the my astrology's telling me to stay away from accident-prone men. And then Seabass comes back. It's just absolutely relentless. This is all in the first 45 minutes of the movie. It's just frenetic with the laughs and the action. And then also, as you did say, he takes the driving, the night driving. Doesn't want to wake Harry up. Some people are not cut out for the road.
Yeah.
Drives them 1/6 of the way across the country. They run out of gas. They have no money. Lloyd or Harry's just completely fed up with him. They split ways, and again, a beautiful cinematic shot of them walking each direction. Also,
Crash Test Dummies kick in,
Yes, Stephen, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I did say that prior to this. Sensational soundtrack. I forgot how good it was. And it just blends beautifully with this scene. And there's so many moments in this movie that I don't think they would work worse without the music, but with the music, it adds a new layer of goodness onto it. But obviously, this is the moment where I think Harry says to him, just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, this comes and you just totally redeem yourself. He comes with the little kid's bike. He swapped the bloody car with the bike.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous, the sight of these two 6 foot plus guys on this tiny little bike finally making their way to Aspen. And you're right, the music and everything is just blaring. It's fantastic. You get the old goosebumps watching it. But Stephen, also at this point as well, they arrive into Aspen, and it's clear that the situation has changed in terms of temperature. The climate is different. These guys are not dressed appropriately. They have very light clothes on. But obviously Lloyd is harbouring a secret with the gloves. He has 2 sets of gloves. I think Harry has to go in the moped. He has to do the toilet. And Lloyd tells him, look, just go. And then it's, that feels quite warm. It's wrong. They're stuck together when they arrive. And I think they get off and he's on his back and they fall over. And again, they're kind of about Aspen, try to find Mary Swanson. What's her name again?
Slappy.
Yeah, Swanson. And he's like, no, look, check the case. Samsonite. What a dummy. It's not Swanson at all.
Yeah.
They're stoating around here. They can't find her for love nor money. Can't recall actually what happens, but they end up out in the park.
Yeah, they've got nowhere to go. They don't know they've got that money yet, you know, so they've got no money, they've got no digs, they don't really know where they are. So they're kind of camped around this kind of, it's like an oil drum, you know, with flames coming out, you know, just to keep warm. And basically the temperature's dropped because it's night time, you know, and Harry, you know, is chittering away there, you know, you can hear his teeth clacking together.
Can't feel my fingers anymore, Lloyd. They're
you
numb.
know, and this is when it's revealed that Lloyd's been wearing 2 sets of gloves.
Maybe you should take these extra gloves.
Yeah, my hands are sweating, you know.
You've had an extra pair of gloves all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the Rockies. And this is again the final little dig he has at Harry in this movie. And he just flips. He's like, I'm going to kill you. He's that face he puts
Harry,
on.
your heads are freezing.
That's the best bit.
Yeah.
He's got his hands round his throat, and then they discover the money in the briefcase at this moment. They have a eureka moment. We're going to spend this wisely.
Yeah.
We'll not spend any more than we can't put back. They proceed right into a presidential suite.
It's probably the best hotel in Aspen, they think, as well.
It's the best suite. I think they're having like royalty there, and there's been all a race of different famous people. And they just start going crazy, Stephen. They're buying all Lamborghinis and the most ridiculous ski suits. We've got Lloyd getting up the stairs with these big tassel boots. There you go. There you go. There you go. Spending money like it's going out of fashion. And then at this point they realise that there's a charity ball. They see Mary Swanson and they're like, we must go to the ball. And that brings us on to one of the best sequences, Stephen, in the whole movie. When they start preparing for this ball.
Yeah.
And there's like succular saws being used on nails and whatnot.
I'm pretty sure Roy Orbison's Pretty Women's played at this point.
It is,
isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Another
also,
good song.
It is, Stephen, the soundtrack's incredible, it really is. And they're doing hair and they're shuffling it, and people are just
Bowl
completely,
cut,
exasperated. They're like, what do these guys want?
Yeah.
They look good at one
The
point.
circular saw and the nails as well.
Yeah, the circular saw is incredible. Also the fake jugular artery being
that was
cut,
hilarious, yeah.
and it's like tomato sauce or ketchup, whatever you are. It's just a great sequence, Stephen. Again, it's quick, it's snappy, the music's great, the acting's great. These guys' antics are just brilliant. They're going through the outfits, can't find one. Finally they happen upon these ridiculously colourful tuxedos, orange and blue, baby blue. It's almost Bowie-esque.
Yeah.
And he's doing his little tap. It's incredible. And that takes us in to the ball sequence. What was your thoughts on the ball sequence, Stephen? I mean, again, the heartless nature of these guys.
I just mentioned Pretty Women there, John, and there is a moment in there that's very similar to Pretty Women, where obviously Nicholas is at the door and sees these two chancellors coming in with their tuxes on, judging them, without knowing them.
Yeah. Very
Pretty Women, and again, it's $500 per table or something like that, per person.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, but they've got the cash on their hips. So
$500. There you go. We'll have to.
It's great, and it's there's a nice scene as well, John. It's nice but funny, where Lloyd, he's been pining for this woman the whole film. He's finally in the same room as her, and Harry's gone, just go up to her, just tell her you've got a briefcase, and he just can't do it. He just can't bring himself. He's fixing his hat. He's kind of spinning it round and all that, and he doesn't know what to do with himself. And he comes up with this brainwave that Harry should go up. And
tell her I'm good looking with rapist wit. With a rapist wit.
She knows what you're like. She's met you. But this also, this is a good scene as well for Harry, and obviously Jeff Daniels. I'll say Jeff Bridges. When he's talking about crossbreeding animals, dogs, and he's come up with one. I think it's is it a bulldog?
It's a bulldog with a shih tzu.
Yeah, I'm going to call it a bullshit.
Well, have you had any unusual breeds? No, just doggy style. Okay. Stephen, that's all right, Lloyd. We can be classy and sophisticated. Oh wow, look at the fun bags on that. I could eat her liver with a Chianti and some fava beans.
Yeah,
just amazing lines in here again. I mean, truly. And you're right. He does start hitting it off.
I'm trying to remember the lady's name that sort of sets up Harry and Mary to go out on a date. Her name's Terry something. I can't remember her name.
Trying to find it just now.
She
Steve.
is
Terry girl.
Yeah, she's in Young Frankenstein. She's the blonde girl in Young Frankenstein. Yeah, she was also Phoebe Buffay's mother and Friends as well. She's a very funny woman.
Yeah.
And she's great in this as well for setting those two up. But this kind of is the sort of turning of the relationship between Harry and Lloyd, because Harry's starting to maybe have some feelings for Mary now as well, and he sees an opportunity here. This is a date, I'm going on, screw Lloyd, basically
he can wait at the bath at 10 a.m.
Yeah, and gives him the wrong time and all that, so he's obviously scheming. But just before obviously that scene closes, John, we get the celebration of champagne. Let's pop a cork, and the way that takes out one of those rare owls, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is just the humour again of the Farley brothers. They're not afraid to go anywhere. No. They'll do anything. And even animal cruelty.
We've seen that before.
It sets up this impression with, I can't remember the girl's name again, the one that was with Shay.
Yeah.
With
Maybe
Shay and
Nicholas.
Nicholas, that wasn't a coincidence. They're pros,
It's a message, Shay.
Yeah, we took out one of their birds there down the back, that kind of. I'm paraphrasing, John. You've obviously got the line there, but
they whacked to a bird.
Even to this up to this point, they still think they're pros.
Yes.
Come on, look at them.
Seeing these guys in these tuxedos with the ridiculous hairdos. They are clearly not pros, but they think that there's an underlying motive. They're playing the fool.
I think Nicholas as well was thinking these two guys are trying to rub my nose in it by turning up to this prestigious ball in those outfits. I think that's his mindset.
It is. Stephen, he's obviously this serious guy, and he just lives in a serious world where it's business and guns and violence, and he just cannot put two and two together and realise that these guys are idiots. He thinks that no, they must be serious and they're just playing the fools to get under my skin. You're right, Stephen. Obviously we get the famous dating sequence on the slopes at this point.
That's great.
And obviously Lloyd being stood up at the bar, and again the FBI undercover cop comes.
Yeah.
That great scene where he goes in, discovers there's been men on the moon and whatnot. Wow.
Yeah.
We landed on the moon, and he's got the ridiculous cowboy outfit.
I like the way that Lloyd asked the barman, and the actor again, he's always in the Farley Brothers films. I can't remember his name, but Lloyd is asking the barman, do you know Mary Swanson? He just innocently says, yeah, she's in here all the time, and he grabs her, what's that supposed to mean? For dinner? Oh, I thought you meant she was a raging alcoholic. And you're right, that lady that's with the FBI, she's boring poor Lloyd to death, that he can't even hide it. He's just rolling his eyes and slipping on his beer, and I don't care, So, and he thinks he's got his times wrong as well. He thinks it's 9 o'clock in the morning when it should have been 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So Harry set this up. He's obviously wanting some time with Mary, and it's a great date to watch, isn't it? You get to see them, taken to the slopes.
Ridiculously tight suit.
He's not got the figure for it, is he?
Not a chance.
They have a bit of a snowball fight. Harry kind of takes it a little bit serious. He nearly breaks the poor girl's nose at one point, rubbing her face in the snow. Then tries to play it off as a laugh, and he gets his tongue attached to one of the chairlifts poles. He thinks it's a good idea to lick the pole for some reason. I don't understand that.
Again, it's just that childish nature within these guys. They are just complete man-childs. That urge, there's no sort of buffer between the thoughts and actually doing it. He just gets right in and licks it. He gets stuck. She gets away and skis on the slopes, comes back, he's still stuck. There's little kids. Say, kids, you wouldn't happen to have a cup of warm water, would you? Things like that. And
he's drooling,
he's drooling. She sees his predicament, comes up to him and says, look, come on, here, I've saved a seat for you. No, you've been there all the time, Harry. I'll tell the truth.
How does Lloyd find out about Harry's sort of double crossing? I can't remember that part, John.
I think it's when he goes and drops her off. He discovers she stays in the actual big chalet mansion from the barman, and then he goes and he sees her dropping her off. And also he realises he's double timed. There's that moment where and
they're going out for a dinner date later on that night.
And he's obviously sitting. I mean, I thought she was just a raging alcoholic, and he's kicking the out of his legs. And he says something, I can't recall what it is. He says to Harry, I've actually got the quote here, you're a regular guy, or something along those lines. You know why I like you, Harry? Because you're a regular guy. That's why I want you to stay regular. 1/2 teaspoon for instant relief.
That's half a bottle,
half a bottle. And obviously he's like, drink up now. It's almost Rick Mail-esque. He's like, I don't like the taste of this. Harry's like, no, you're just going to have that and be a good boy. And then obviously we have another absolutely fantastic sequence, the laxative scene, I've called it.
Yeah.
When he goes to the actual house, the rumbling from the stomach, and then obviously he just has to rush to the toilet. She's shouting, I hope you're not using the toilet in there because the flush doesn't work. He sprayed half the world's worth of toilet of shit into the actual pan.
It's the sound effects again, John. If you're into that kind of, we'll call it toilet humour because that's what it is. It's not a pun. That's what it is. My 7-year-old daughter, she loves that scene. I don't let her see the whole film, obviously, but there's something about that scene that just makes kids laugh. Just for the sound effects alone. There's a little laugh from from Harry as well during one of his farts, which it's so funny. I think it's like again, he's sweating as well. Some half his frizzy hair stuck to his forehead as well, just with the sweats.
What are you doing in there? I'm shaving.
Shaving.
I lost some time. I thought I'd just catch up while I was here.
Yeah.
And then obviously at this point, Lloyd turns up with the briefcase.
You actually see him halfway through Harry's sort of.
He's laughing his head off.
Yeah, it's like a demonic laugh, isn't it?
He turns up with the briefcase, sees his opportunity. He slip in. Oh, why did you come here? Yeah, I've got your brief. I brought your briefcase from me. I'll for you. It's back at the hotel. She's obviously chance to get my husband back. What the hell made you come? I can't recall what it was. Yeah, I mean I travelled 2,000 miles just to drop the briefcase off you. You're such a great guy. Paraphrasing heavily here.
Yeah.
Lloyd,
he's taking the wrong way.
Yeah, he's left. He's been bailed in the toilet. Lloyd obviously goes with Mary back to the hotel, and that sets up the finale, Stephen.
Yeah.
And what a finale it is. Some would say it could be almost, how shall I put it? I wouldn't say a letdown, but anticlimactic because of what this big journey they've travelled here. They finally get here.
Yeah.
Only to just end up on a mattress essentially with guns getting brandished. But for me it isn't. For me it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
It's the perfect situation for these two guys to end up in. He's finally face to face with this Mary woman, the love of his life that he's never even had a moment with apart from dropping her off at the airport. He's asking her, what do you think the chances are of a guy like me ending up with a girl like you? She's saying not good. Do you mean not good as in 1 out of 100? No, more like what, 1 out of a million. So you're telling me there's a chance. Things like that's going on in here. Obviously Harry's turned up and he's having interactions with this undercover cop. Nicholas is busting in and there's guns getting brandished, I'm going to kill you and whatnot. There's millions of IOUs in the briefcase. All this is going on in the space of about 5 to 10 minutes. It's just absolute carnage, it's chaos. Harry's coming in and getting shot with a bulletproof vest on. What did you make about the end of this movie, Steve?
I love that scene, where you've got Mary and Lloyd on the bed, handcuffed, and you nearly dropped it there, John. Don't drop it.
Wow.
But I think it's just a great scene because you think Harry's in to save the day. He's got a gun. He brandishes a gun from somewhere.
He gets shot, doesn't he? And then falls.
Well, he tries to shoot Nicholas and he misses him. It's like, as you said, Pulp Fiction. He just totally misses him from close range. And it's when he's shot as well. Lloyd's so upset when he's shot. Before he's
still a line though, Stephen. Before that, yesterday was one of the greatest days of my life. Mary and me went skiing. She touched my leg. Yeah. Okay, kill him. And then he gets shot. And you're right, he's heartbroken.
He's so upset about it, but obviously just for a brief moment when Harry obviously jumps up and tries to shoot Nicholas back. You're having a meltdown.
What is going on?
And, it's just the way he tries to fire those shots, and then Lloyd's like, Harry, you're alive. You're a terrible shot. He's having a dig at him once again, How
are you not dead? I've got this. I've met her in the lobby. She explained everything. I've got a bulletproof vest. But what if they shot you in the face? Yeah, what if they shot me? This is after they've obviously dealt with it and Nicholas has been apprehended.
The FBI came in.
What if they shot me in the face? Yeah, that was a risk we were willing to take. Okay. And then obviously Stephen, again, they're back and forth at this point as well. And obviously Mary is revealed to have a husband and Lloyd, I should say, is completely heartbroken outside the hotel. And he has another sort of daydream sequence where he's shooting him multiple times in the chest. He comes up and he's, thanks for saving my life, yada yada yada, heavily paraphrasing again. He's shaking Lloyd's hand and Lloyd is just not wanting to let go. He's crunching his hand and he's like, yeah, thanks, and giving him an evil look. And obviously we do, have that moment at the end where they've saved the day, but they've had all the riches and what taken off of them. They've lost the Lamborghini. They're walking down this road, desert road, on their lonesome. This big bus turns up. It's like, when are we ever going to get our break? It seems like everyone's getting their break. When are we going to get ours? This bus full of bikini-clad women stop. They want to come out and have a couple of people. I can't recall what it is. Wax. We're looking for 2 guys to grease us up.
Yeah.
And they obviously send them packing. There's a town that way. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys, have some self-awareness, please. And then you think for a moment Lloyd has had the light bulb go off his head. You're such a dumbass or something along those lines. And they go running after the bus. Town's that way.
Yeah.
What did you make, Stephen? Is this the final great moment in the movie?
It is, John. This is.
I've not learnt.
I think this is where it should have ended for Lloyd and Harry. You know, it was a perfect sort of send off for both of them. You know, I know. Listen, I'm not really want to get into a great discussion about the sequel. You know, that came out a few years ago. You know, that's maybe for another day. But you know, we wanted more of these characters. You know, obviously with, you know, Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels playing these characters, not that Dumb and Dumberer thing that came out in the early 2000s. I don't even think the Farrelly brothers were really connected to that either. But yeah, I mean, it was just a good send off. You know, it kind of summed the two of them up. You know, you summed it up as well, John. Self-awareness. They just lack it. No. You know, they don't understand. They don't really know an opportunity when they see it. But
I think they're on the spectrum, Steve.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely on the spectrum.
I think so, you know. Yeah. But you know, Lauren Holly as well, who played Mary, she was great, you know. And you've got the likes of Charles Rocket in there that played Nicholas. He's a straight man, but he's funny as well. And as you said, I think Mike Starr was the guy that played the gas man, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the gas man. Yeah.
You know, so it's just something about this. You know, it's a very small cast as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
maybe about 8 or 9, yeah, if you're lucky.
And even the dozen makes up some like side players that are borderline extras. So
yeah, like the FBI agent, you know, and the police. You know,
the real meat and bones of the cast is about 6 people.
Yeah, it's astonishing. You know, it really is.
And it fits so much action into it, Stephen. Also, I've said here, I mean, why this bumbling buddy story, Dumb and Dumber buddy story? Why it's the perfect concept, Stephen. Just to wrap things up here on final thoughts. Also, we'll speak about performances briefly as well. Yeah. But again, you could do that. I mean, it's 2 performances really in this movie. It's Jeff Daniels, it's Jim Carrey. There's not much more to add really to it. They are the 2 standouts. You could maybe argue over who is the standout out of the 2.
I would probably go with Jim Carrey just for his energy levels, John, throughout the film. His energy didn't drop at all. No. You know, and this film's supposed to be set over, I don't know how many days it is, maybe 4 or 5 days or something like that. It's not any more than that. You know, and for that character just to be the way he was for that whole time, it was astonishing. You know, it was just, and that's down to Jim Carrey's performance. You know, you can't think of anyone else playing Lloyd Christmas. No. You know, but he's just so well matched for that role. Jeff Daniels, on the other hand, you know, you've got to commend because of you know, he's more of a serious actor. It's a crazy thing to think, you know, but you know, he's had more sort of serious roles in his career than he has comedic. Yeah. But for him to sort of raise the bar and be up there at the same level as Jim Carrey, you've got to commend. Absolutely, Stephen. It's, again, we've seen this. We spoke about this yesterday. The Brad Pitt Adam Sandler interview, and they speak at great length about this. Also, a drama-heavy actor try to dip his toes in comedy. It's a hard thing to do, and there's a real respect from a Brad Pitt figure on an Adam Sandler, what they do, because comedy is a very hard thing to do. It's hard to make people laugh genuinely, and the real pros are at another level, and you see that with Carrey. It's just fantastic. But look, Daniels did do a great job as well. But Stephen, the actual story, I mean, why is it perfect? Because it's just the perfect concept, the perfect comedy. I don't think it's been topped, certainly in the last 30 years. I can't think of... You could maybe argue the likes of Anchorman have possessed some of that quality, but for me, it's just on another level. I think it's just the genius of the directors, the 90s nostalgia, the dialogue snappy, the music, the cinematography, the great leading to it. They've got great chemistry. There was a period, John, the Farrelly brothers just hit gold every time, though. You're right, I don't think any of their films have been at the height of Dumb and Dumber, in my opinion, you know, but they've always had great films in that period from 1994 right up to maybe 2000. You've got Dumb and Dumber, There's Something About Mary, you've got Kingpin, and you've also got Me, Myself and Irene as well, you know, another Jim Carrey one. But yeah, I mean, there's just something about their writing, you know. Some people regard it as, you know, childish or toilet humour, etc. and stuff like that, but so who cares, you know. So on the acting, though, Stephen, exactly. You guys of his calibre in, and they carry it. And the writing as well, John. Like we were talking, you know, one sort of silly scenario rolls into the next, and it kind of just trickles down to, you know, one very funny scene onto the next funny scene, and it all connects, you know. Stephen, you think though of the actual characters, they lack awareness, but the directors very much have awareness. They're aware of all the little jokes. That's the irony, and they've just constructed it absolutely perfect. For me, I just think it's a fantastic film. I really do. My final thoughts are that probably still to this day my favourite Jim Carrey comedy movie, and I think that's heaping high praise on it, because he has done so many good comedy movies over his career, and drama, which I'm sure we'll get into at some point.
one of the great comedy movies for me. It's just fantastic. I can go back and watch it again and again. Usually comedy movies, they have a shelf life. Once you've watched them a certain amount of times, they lose that potency.
I think it's the character that he's playing though, John.
Yeah.
I think Lloyd Christmas is just one of these relatable characters, you know. You look at the likes of like Fletcher Reed and Liar Liar. You know, as funny that as that film is, that boardroom scene, you know, where they're all telling the truth. It's a great film, you know, but there's something not nice about Fletcher Reed.
Yeah.
He's not a nice person. You know, you look at the likes of Yes Man, I can't remember what his character's name, Carol something his name was. He's not a nice guy in it at all. You know, he kind of blows off his friends, Bradley Cooper being one of them.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really wanting to spend any time with anyone. You know, there's just something about Lloyd. I think it's the naivety in him, you know, and
There's
just
a
the
childlike
sort of,
innocence.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and just having that sort of energy, enthusiasm, which makes him likeable.
And again, that's why it makes a movie so enjoyable, Stephen. It's all these elements come together. But look, I ain't got much more to add on this. I don't know if you have.
No.
That's going to round up a review for Dumb and Dumber from all the way back in 1994 when I was just a child. I'm an old shit. What is your guys' thoughts on Dumb and Dumber? What's your thoughts on the Farrelly brothers, on Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels, everything in between? If you have anything to say about this great movie, do you like it, hate it, love it, do you think it's shit? You can comment below and let us know what your thoughts are down below. That last one would be controversial, I do know. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. If you do, then you will see us back again on Monday for another movie review.